Howdy y'all. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at some creepy and strange TikTok facts that are gonna blow your mind. Let's giddy up.
Here are some facts that you probably didn't know that one day could save your life. If your house smells like fish for absolutely no reason, 9 times out of 10, it means that there's an electrical fire. If someone gets stabbed, do not take the knife out. It acts as a plug to the hole and prevents blood loss. Apply pressure to the wound and call the police.
I think that's one that a lot of people should know, that maybe don't, because like we just said, could end up preventing, further bleeding. So yeah, I think that goes with any object if it's lodged into any extremity of your body. Just go ahead and try to leave it if you can. If you can help it, take it to the hospital, let them do it, because you can do more damage too, regardless of bleeding, more damage to the affected area.
If you ever come face to face with a mountain lion, don't turn your back on it, just walk backwards. Cats are ambush predators, and they'll wait for you to turn around before they attack. If you're ever being held...
So pretty much, ambush them. But if they turn their back, yeah, just kidding.
Up at gunpoint, look the person dead in the eyes and say, "You don't have to do this." Humanize them. They will have feelings, and you can use this to your advantage. The best defense against a bear is to get a large object like a car or a tree and put it between you and the bear and keep moving around it until it gets bored and leaves.
Weird facts that you...
I think that's a pretty good one. And then, or you could, like, be a little behind Julia Roberts too. And just, start screaming at it. See if
You'll wish you never knew. Humans lose 30,000 to 40,000 skin cells every single minute. In theory, a slug could have 90,000 grandchildren and 27 million great-grandchildren if they all survived. A 10-second kiss with somebody exchanges over 80 million bacteria, and the odds of you finding true love are actually pretty low. The mathematical odds of you finding your soulmate are 1 in every 10,000 lifetimes.
So we got some dirty behind mouths. I mean, they say that dogs' mouths are cleaner than ours. And that whole thing about the slug, that's a lot of babies.
The only way to survive a falling elevator. Some people think that if you jump just before impact, then you won't be affected. However, this is not true. Let's say the elevator was falling at a speed of 70 miles per hour, and you can only jump up at 5 miles per hour. You'd still impact the ground at 65 miles per hour. So here's the real way to survive a falling elevator. You should lie as flat as possible so you distribute the force of impact over the greatest area of your body. Therefore, no one part of your body is subjected to extreme force. But remember, modern elevators are equipped with great safety features, and the chances that you're killed by an elevator is 0.00000015.
See, I would have thought about laying flat on the elevator. I would have thought maybe just making sure to keep the knees bent and not keeping them straight, of course, and locked in. But another little interesting story about whenever I was in my before teen years, I had, I don't know why, a fear of elevators. And I remember there was a summer vacation trip I went on, and my dad and my grandpa get on the elevator with my brother, and I was like seriously telling him, I was like, I'll take the stairs, I'll take the elevator. And long story short, yeah, I ended up being forced to get on the elevator, but I didn't want to. I had fear of elevators. I did not want to be stuck. I've seen too many movies where people get stuck in elevators. So I did not want to be stuck on the elevator. Real tidbit.
5%.
Not so fun facts that will ruin your day. After you die, your brain remains active for up to 10 minutes, but in your head those 10 minutes can last years. And it is said that in those 10 minutes you live your life again. Maybe you are already dead and you are in those 10 minutes. It was legal to mail children in packages from 1913 to 1920. The youngest girl to ever give birth was 5 years old. Just imagine the pain.
How in the world? 5 years old. I mean, I've heard of elderly women in the 80s and 90s having kids. How is that even possible if you haven't even get puberty yet?
Here's 4 scary things about planes pilots won't tell you. Between 43 and 54% of pilots have admitted to falling asleep at the controls. 33% of them then stated that they woke up to find their co-pilot asleep too. Some airlines are flying...
How does that make y'all feel? Not only the pilot, but the co-pilot to fall asleep as well. Maybe it's not, some of the technical difficulties of why some of these planes incidents in the news. Maybe not every time it's a malfunction with whatever it is about the plane. Maybe it's something with the pilots. Food for thought.
Flying with less than recommended fuel levels in an effort to save money. And finally, passengers who sit more than 5 rows from an exit have greatly reduced chances from evacuating a plane during an emergency.
Here are some facts that you were never told that could legitimately save your life one day. So spare 60 seconds and listen the fact up. If you ever find yourself grabbed by an octopus, don't go in the ocean again. Don't try and pry him off of you. Don't be stupid, it has more arms than you, you're gonna lose. But what you can do is try and knock him off his anchor point. Because to be able to pull you down, it'll have to be holding on to something, a pipe, a rock. Get him off that, he will have to let you go and then you swim. If you were ever getting chased by an alligator, shit like bye. I'm kidding, run in zigzags. They're a bit stupid. If you were ever lost in the wilderness, find a...
I heard that growing up, running away from an alligator, running in zigzags. But recently, I seen a video where a dude was running away from an alligator, and it wasn't showing him running, but you could see the point of view, and it did not look like he was running in zigzags. It looked like he was just running straight on. You know what I mean?
River and follow it downstream, it will lead you to civilization. If you currently live in a climate which is like very cold, always keep a candle in your car. The heat from just one candle will keep you from freezing for 36 hours till you get rescued if you're broken down somewhere. If you need to get out of the car, use the poles of the headrest. They're designed to smash. Finally, don't drink from the brown Coke.
I don't think the candle trick will work in every single instance. I only say that because depending on if it's below freezing weather, there ain't no way a single candle is going to keep you from freezing. Just try experiment for 5-10 minutes. If you are ever in where it's below freezing or at freezing temperatures, just go sit out in your car and have it off. Put a candle out there and just see if you feel any warmth from that thing. And I'm talking bundled up too.
Let's only drink from the green. Let's be easy. If you didn't know any of these, you have to share it.
Facts that could save your life.
Sharing it right
If
now.
you ever need to break your car window, aim for the edges. That's where the glass is the weakest. If you're in a foreign country and you don't know what...
I would have thought somewhere more in the center would be its weakest. Hey, could be wrong.
Remember to call for an emergency? Dial 112. You'll immediately be able to talk to an operator. In case of a fire, you should always touch a door with the back of your hand before opening.
Heard that one.
If there's fire on the other side, you'll be able to tell. But don't use the palm of your hand. You could get burned. And if you ever come across a mountain lion in the wild, never turn your back to it. If it can see your face and eyes, it won't attack you.
Here's what would happen if you stayed in bed for 10 years.
Another bobcat fact. So hey, I mean, this is another time where it said, don't turn your back on a bobcat. Must be some truth to it.
First, all the pressure on your body tissue would cut off your blood flow, leaving you with bed sores all over your body. After that, you would lose 10 to 15 pounds of muscle every day, making you weak and extremely skinny. Then your heart rate will increase every day, making it more likely for you to have a heart attack. And lastly, with nothing stimulating your brain, you will start to have hallucinations, and eventually your brain will shut down, causing you to die.
Here's some not so fun facts to...
Jeez, I cannot imagine going through something like that. Especially to have the hallucination parts. If you've ever gone an extended period of time, and I'm talking about experiencing the sleep deprivation, and you just, especially if you're driving, and you just start seeing things out of nowhere. Those shadows that are actually shadows are moving. Talking about Slender Man everywhere.
Ruin your day. Fatal insomnia. That exists. It's a disease that slowly destroys your brain's ability to fall asleep until you go insane and die. There's a whale nicknamed the loneliest whale on the planet because he sings at a certain frequency that he can't even communicate with the other whales. So whenever you get a sunburn from being in the sun too long, it's because your skin cells are actually committing suicide to avoid becoming cancerous. So, by that same logic, when you do get cancer, it's because one of your cells was too much of a pussy to kill itself.
These unethical...
That's really interesting if that's true. Because, I mean, as you can probably tell, I burn easily. So, I've been sunburned plenty of times. And it's not fun. So I make sure, especially in my adult years, that I lather up with sunscreen. I'm talking about layers, like a cake.
Life hacks will change your life. If you're ever on vacation and forgot to bring a charger but you don't really feel like buying a new one, go to the front desk of the hotel and tell them you lost your charger. When they ask what it looks like, just say it's a white iPhone charger and they're more than likely to have one laying around and they'll give it to you. If you're ever renting a place or
if they're nice enough, they might just have a spare one laying around and let you borrow it.
living in a college dorm and you accidentally damage something, just take a picture of whatever's damaged, then change the date and time of the photo to the first day you moved in. That way you can show them proof that it was already damaged before you got there. Next time you're at McDonald's, buy one of their reusable soda cups and keep it in your car. That way, every time you go in, you can fill it up for free and no one will be suspicious. According to
I don't mind it being stuck to the corporate or the corporations. You know what I mean? They already make millions off of people. Hey, well, what's an extra person or two every now and again going in and getting a free drink?
For Target employees, if you
But I
argue
would
the
go to
price
McDonald's,
of
bro.
any item less than
Bad.
$20, they're trained to lower the price and you can get a steal on items. And if you want to expose someone, there's an app where you can change people's text messages. Links in my bio if you want to try too.
Bone chilling facts you wish you never knew, part 3.
Well, that sounds kind of messed up. You go in and try to change people's text messages. Dang. I mean, I see it if you want to. I guess if somebody wants to get revenge on somebody, but teach their own.
Teen, you are most likely to be murdered by someone you trust, so be careful who you trust. Out of all the people you see, meet or interact with, one or more have murdered someone. You are 5.
When you think about it, I mean, there's millions and billions of people across this world. So the odds are, yeah, I mean, at some point, regardless, you may see a nice elderly man / woman, and you think nothing of it. You had a good conversation with them, and then down the road, you're like, come to find out, they ended up going ahead and having something to do with their previous partner. Took them out. You know what I mean?
5 times more likely to have an accident walking up and down the stairs than by riding in an elevator. If you get your head decapitated, your brain will stay active for about 15 seconds. 1 out of 20 people you know are capable of becoming serial killers.
Here's the only way to survive a tsunami. For the second time, run the other way. Try and get at least 4 kilometers from the ocean. If you can't do this in time, try and get 30 meters above sea level. Try to get to the roof of a building with a sturdy concrete foundation. And if you can't run away in time or get to the roof of a building which is 30 meters above sea level, grab something and hold on to it. Many tsunami victims have been saved by holding on to something, such as Petra Nimkova, a supermodel who was saved by holding onto a palm tree. Once the first wave settles, stay in a safe spot. Typically the first tsunami wave isn't the strongest.
Morbid Facts, Part 87. In August of 1864, President Lincoln lost his hat when his horse was startled by a loud noise. The hat was recovered later with a bullet hole through the crown in the opposite direction. She was popular in sideshows and was known as Camel Girl because she preferred to walk on all fours. In 2009, Moscow native Julia Popova was stabbed in the neck by a mugger. But she was in so much shock that she walked home without even realizing that the knife was embedded in her, just millimeters from her spinal cord. She spent over an hour with the blade in her back before she went to the hospital.
Could you imagine being in that much shock and having that much adrenaline going to where you don't even realize there's been a object lodged inside of your body? Especially for an hour? I couldn't believe it. But that's it for today's video. I hope that y'all enjoyed. If you did, please like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and always don't forget to turn on that notification bell for future uploads. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good one. Be safe.